So, you've tried budgeting before, right? I'm guessing you probably downloaded an app, or maybe you got really ambitious and made a whole spreadsheet. And maybe, just maybe, you lasted, 3 days? Before you just gave up and told yourself, budgeting just isn't for me. Well, here's the thing that nobody ever told you. It wasn't your fault. Seriously, the budget failed, not you. So tonight, let's build one that actually works. Hey neighbor, welcome back. Let's talk money. I want to tell you a story about this guy, Trey. So Trey's 29, he makes decent money, has a good job. But every single month he looks at his bank account like 2 days before payday and just thinks, where did it all go? He can't even point to one big thing. It wasn't some crazy vacation or a major purchase. It just kind of disappeared. Groceries here, a few subscriptions there, that one dinner out that somehow turned into 4 dinners out. Oh, and that thing on Amazon he doesn't even remember ordering. Sound familiar? See, Trey isn't bad with money. Trey just never had a system. And without a system, trust me on this, money has a way of finding its own way out of your account every single time. And here's the thing that should probably scare you a little bit. Right now, 69% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a new high. It's never been higher. And here's the wild part. Of those same people, 86% say they budget. So wait a minute. Most people are budgeting, and they're still broke? That tells me one thing loud and clear. The budgets aren't working. It's not the people. Today, we are going to fix that. And we're going to start by really understanding what a budget really is. So before we get into the how, let me just clear something up, because I think there's this massive misconception about what a budget even is. A budget is not a punishment. It is not a restriction. It is definitely not a long list of things you can't have. A budget is just a plan for your money. That's it. It's you deciding ahead of time where your money goes, instead of getting to the end of the month and wondering where it all went. Think about it like this. Imagine your paycheck is a new neighbor moving onto your street. Now, without a budget, that neighbor just kind of wanders around and ends up wherever. But with a budget, you're the one who walks right up and shows them exactly which house to go to. You are in charge, not the money. I'm telling you, once I really understood that, everything changed. A budget isn't about having less. It's about knowing exactly where every single dollar lives. Now, here's the system I want you to use. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. And I absolutely love it for beginners because it's simple enough that you'll actually stick to it. Here's how it works. You're going to take your monthly take-home pay. That's the amount that actually hits your bank account after taxes and all that. And you're going to split it into 3 buckets. Okay, so bucket number 1 is for your needs. That's 50% of your income. This is the non-negotiable stuff you absolutely need to survive. We're talking rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, the things that if you don't pay them, bad things happen. Half your income, right there. Now, bucket 2 is for your wants. This is 30% of your income. And listen, this is where most budgets die. They tell you to cut this thing to 0. That is not sustainable. Your wants bucket isn't a failure, it's a feature. Netflix, restaurants, hobbies, anything that makes life enjoyable, spend it and spend it guilt-free. And finally, bucket 3, savings, 20% of your income. This is for future you, your emergency fund, your investments, paying down debt. And here's the key. You have to automate this. Set up an automatic transfer for the day you get paid. That money moves to your savings before you even have a chance to spend it. If you never see it in your main account, you're not going to miss it. Let's make this real with some actual numbers. Okay, let's say your take-home pay is $3,000 a month. Look at that needs row on your screen. 50% is $1,500. So maybe your rent is $900, groceries are $200, utilities are $150. Hey, it fits. Perfect. Now drop down to wants. That's 30%, which is $900. You are not suffering here. This is $200 for eating out, $350 for fun money, maybe some streaming services. See? This is a budget that actually feels like living. And the most important part, savings. 20%, which is $600. That money is automatically moved to your emergency fund or your investments. And that's it. That is the whole system. 3 numbers, 3 buckets. Simple. Okay, I know what some of you are thinking right now. My rent alone is more than 50% of my income. And you're not wrong, and you're definitely not alone. In a lot of cities right now, rent is just eating up more than half of what people make. So here's how you handle it. First, just adjust the percentages to your reality. If your needs are 60%, that's okay. Just pull that extra 10% from the wants bucket first. Bring your wants down to 20%, just temporarily. Protect that 20% savings bucket at all costs. Second, start looking for ways to reduce those needs over time. Could you get a roommate, find a cheaper apartment, refinance a car payment? Needs aren't always truly fixed. Sometimes they just feel that way. And third, increase your income. A side hustle, some overtime, asking for a raise. Sometimes the math just doesn't work, and the answer isn't cutting lattes, it's making more money. Remember, the 50-30-20 is a target, not a law. The point isn't perfection. The point is just having a plan. But, having a plan and actually making it stick are two totally different things. If you've tried budgeting before and it just fell apart, it is crucial to understand why. Because it's not what you think. It's not a lack of discipline. It's not laziness. And it's definitely not that some people are just bad with money. Most budgets fail for one of three reasons. First up, they're way too restrictive. I mean, when you cut out everything enjoyable, you're basically punishing yourself. And that lasts for a week, maybe two, before you just snap. The 50-30-20 rule fixes this with that built-in wants bucket. Second, they totally forget about irregular expenses. Car registration, holiday gifts, that annual subscription you forgot about. These things can absolutely wreck a monthly budget. The fix for this? It's called a sinking fund. If you have $1,200 in annual expenses, just save an extra $100 a month. Then, when the bill comes, the money is just sitting there waiting for it. No drama. And third, they make you track every single penny. This creates so much decision fatigue. The solution is to track by bucket, not by line item. Is there still money left in your wants bucket? Yes? Cool. You're good. Simple. And here's something else I really, really want you to get about why staying on budget is so hard. It's not you, it's your environment. Every single app on your phone, every website you visit is literally engineered to make you spend. One-click checkout, saved credit cards, those push notifications about a sale. You are fighting a billion-dollar industry whose entire job is to get money out of your wants bucket faster than you planned. Take my friend Simone. She had a $300 a month wants budget for clothes and shopping, and she was doing great until she turned on push notifications for her favorite store. By the second week of the month, her wants bucket was totally empty, and she hadn't even been to a physical store. So here's what she did. She turned off all her shopping notifications, deleted her saved credit cards from every single app, and put a 24-hour rule on any purchase over $30. And suddenly, her wants bucket started lasting the full month. It wasn't because she had more willpower, it was because she removed the friction that was making her spend it. Okay, so here is your action plan, and I mean it. You can do this tonight. Step 1, find your take-home monthly income. Just look at your last pay stub. Write down the actual number that hits your bank account. Step 2, calculate your 3 buckets. Multiply that number by 0.50, 0.30, and 0.20. Step 3, list your needs. Rent, utilities, groceries. Add them all up. Do they fit in that 50% bucket? Step 4, set up your savings automation right now. Seriously, pause this and do it. Go into your bank's app and schedule an automatic transfer for 20% of your income from checking to savings and set it for the day you get paid. And step 5, spend the wants bucket freely. I mean it. Enjoy every single dollar of it, completely guilt-free. Remember Trey from the beginning of this explainer? He did this on a Tuesday night. 3 months later, he told me, I have no idea why I didn't do this sooner. He just gave every dollar a job. All right, to really make this whole thing stick, we need a mental shift, a total reframe. And part of that is knowing the common traps that send people right back to square one. So let's cover the big ones so you can just sidestep them completely. Mistake number 1, starting mid-month. Don't do it. Just wait. Always start on the first of the month or on your first payday of the month. Mistake 2, not budgeting for fun. Look, if you don't give yourself a wants bucket, you're going to spend the money anyway and you're just going to feel guilty about it. Mistake 3, giving up after one bad month. Come on, everyone has a bad month. The car breaks down, a medical bill shows up out of nowhere. It's not a failed budget, it's just a bad month. Reset and go again. And mistake 4, making it way too complicated. 3 buckets, 3 numbers. That is it. Simple beats perfect every single time. Here's why this all matters so much, beyond just the numbers on a page. When you don't have a budget, money controls you. It decides when you run out of cash, it decides when you feel stressed. But when you have a budget, you control the money. You decide in advance. You know where it's going. The stress doesn't just poof, disappear, but it shrinks dramatically because you're not wondering anymore. You know. Your budget isn't a cage, it's a map. And right now, most people are just driving around without one. So give every dollar a job. Start tonight. Because the moment you stop wondering where your money went and you start knowing exactly where it's going, everything else gets easier. Investing gets easier, building that emergency fund gets easier, paying off debt gets easier. It all starts with the budget. So you've got your budget, you've got your emergency fund started, you've got your investing going, but there is one single number that affects every single financial move you make, and most people don't even know what theirs is. And that's exactly what we're covering next.
Hey, if this helped you out tonight, go ahead and subscribe. Every week, your neighbor breaks down exactly how regular people can build real wealth. No jargon, no gurus, no gatekeeping. Just real talk from someone who's been right where you are. Until next time, neighbor, go get free.